After a long week, sometimes it's good to treat yourself to good comfort food, and this is what we've got for you today. John Gregory Smith is the chef in the kitchen, and we've got it presented in front of us, the finished article here.
Very different, John.
It's simple, it's nice, it's different, it smells lovely. What is it?
So we're doing a spicy lamb pasta, OK? So it's a little twist on a very traditional Middle Eastern dish that you would get sort of in the mountains, in the middle of the week, and it's a very gorgeous spiced lamb ragu with pasta. And we've just been talking, and the slightly random bit is the pasta has yoghurt on.
Well, that's what I said, because the rest of it, you go, yeah, ragu sauce, pasta, whether it's lamb or beef. But then I go, well, why? That's all got yoghurt on it.
Yeah,
OK. Pasta.
So bear with me on this one. So, like, the dish is called macarona bil laban, which means macaroni with yoghurt. And in the Middle East, they would use a yoghurt called labna, which is like a strained yoghurt, so it's super thick and creamy. And it's almost like a cream cheese, so it's absolute... Just bear with me, try it. It's so good.
I'm trying it. Really nice, really good.
The best thing about it is it's very indulgent and it's very easy. So the first thing I've got in here is some lamb mince, just fried off with some garlic and a little onion. And I love using lamb, I love the flavour of it, but you could use beef or you could use turkey if you wanted to be a little bit healthy. So just to build up the ragu, in with a bit of tomato puree, and then some salt, and then 2 spices, OK? First of all, it's Turkish pepper flakes. Now, these are really mild, smoky chilli flake. They're fantastic. I think you've got some in front of you. Beautiful colour.
Not that one.
And you can find these now in supermarkets, and I thought it would just be really interesting to sort of show you what's out there. But if you can't get them, just use a chilli flake or, like, a mild chilli powder, because it's more about the smoke, 'cause I know you don't love heat.
Here you go.
And then the next
Turkish
spice,
chilli flakes.
Turkish or Aleppo pepper flakes is another name for them, from Syria. And then the second spice I'm going to use is baharat, which actually means spice in Arabic. And what's wonderful about this, if you smell it, right, it is just like a feast for the senses. It's got all of these woody spices in cloves, cinnamon, nutmeg, allspice, all ground up, all done for you in a tin, bosh. You can buy it super easy.
Bosh, done.
Bosh, done. And what's wonderful about having something like that in your store cupboard, bang for your buck, tons of flavour without doing anything. Now, if you can't find that, allspice is perfect. Or do you know what? If you're at home and you're watching this and you think, actually, I'd like to give this a go, but I don't have any of that stuff, just try, like, a spoonful of cumin, something just to give it a little lift.
As I say, there's a mild kind of curry flavour to that.
And it's that lovely little tang in the background. And I love things like this. They've got something kind of a little tweaky.
And just a combination that I wouldn't think of. So
makes me interested. Sort of a simple ragu, really, just spiced up. So we're into that with some tomatoes. Get that little sizzle. Let's crank that heat up. I love that noise, that roar of food. And then a little splash of water, and the water will just help break down the tomatoes. And now this is... What I love about this dish for Friday is it cooks quick. So you don't have to bung this in the oven now for, like, you know, an hour. You would just cook this down for, like, 6 to 7 minutes until the tomatoes break down and you get something like this here, which is a lovely, thick ragu which you've got on top.
So you just simmer that gently until it thickens up a bit?
It's so nice. And actually, this is really nice just with rice, actually. It's really, really good. I eat this a lot. I think it's great. And... this is quite...
We had this problem earlier. I could just hear tick, 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 tick.
It's so good. Right. OK, right, let's talk about the pasta and the yoghurt. So I've just got some pasta that I've drained off. Shells, I think, are brilliant. They remind me of being a kid, actually. Like, my granny used to call me Pasta Percy, because that's all I used to eat, pasta shells. But actually, the meat kind of sticks into them, so it's great. And I'm going to add in the yoghurt. And what we're looking for is the yoghurt just to lux it up.
So that's a nice thick yoghurt.
It's a really good, thick, creamy Greek-style yoghurt. And then I'm going to add in a couple of cloves of garlic and raw garlic, so it's going to give it a little kick. If you've got kids at home, you could totally leave this bit out.
I've discovered, John, recently, garlic paste in a tube.
So I was a bit sceptical of them, and my mum loves things like that. But actually, do you know what? It's so convenient, isn't it?
Because occasionally I end up burning... You know, if I do fresh garlic, if you don't keep an eye on it, put it in and it burns, it tastes horrible, doesn't it? It's
yeah. Well, it goes from being kind of like that wonderful flavour we all love to just being, like, bitter and not very nice.
So the squeezy garlic in a tube...
Yeah, they're great. Or if you think, like, very lazy ginger, all that kind of...
Garlic in a tube.
Garlic in a tube.
OK. So I've got a little... So right now, this looks pretty pretty claggy, is the word.
No, you just think creamy pasta, I suppose, don't you?
But what I want to do is, this is the pasta water, right? And a lot of you hear chefs talking about this. And when you cook your pasta, just get heat-proof jugs, scoop out some of the water, and when you're making your sauces, you just add that in, and you can see straight away it just makes it go creamy because it's got all the starches from the pasta. So actually, even if you're doing something like a pasta pesto, a little bit of that water just makes, you can see it, gorgeous. It works straight away. So we've got our pasta done. Now, discuss. Tell me what you think about the yoghurty pasta.
Nice.
It is
Really
lovely,
nice.
isn't it?
Yeah.
And there's something so nice, because the yoghurt is more about creaminess rather than, like, tanginess. So it's actually
I think you've got so much flavour in
much
that
tang.
mix.
Yeah.
There's so much kind of spiciness.
It's lovely,
and then
isn't it?
the yogurt
Cooling.
is a little fresher. You know, it's a little...
So good.
Yeah,
So
very nice.
there's our ragu. Actually, that's almost done, you know, in the time that we've been talking. And then the last thing I want to do is, this is sort of slightly, like, naughty bit, which I love. I'm just going to melt some butter in a pan. And then, so instead of putting the butter on the pasta, this is actually quite a sort of typical, slightly Turkish twist. Just melt the butter in a pan, add some salt, and add a little bit more of these chilli flakes. Or again, add your chilies or your chilli powder and swirl it around. Take it off the heat. And what you'll get, if you can see, is this lovely sort of like aromatic chilli butter. And it's delicious. That actually, on anything like from a kebab to pasta, is such a win. And then that's kind of it, really. You've got your pasta, your lamb, your butter.
So do you then... Because obviously in Italy they often put the pasta into the meat, don't they? Or do you put the meat
I was just
on
about to
top?
say, so you can do that. But because the sort of, it's already got a sauce, I'm going to do it like this. I like to serve it a big... So I like this, actually, big platter style, so everything on the table, I love it. So a big old mound of the pasta, so it's beautifully coated in that glossy sauce. Then we're going to go over to our lamb. I must feel like, which one should I use? There's so much lamb everywhere.
Don't worry, it'll all get eaten.
Boil for joy. I was thinking, see the crew thinking, go on. Right, some of that beautiful lamb over the top. And this is just so nice. Like, I think I've eaten this dish in so many places. You know, I've gone to countries where they want to show me something completely opulent.
Yeah.
And you get given this, and I was like, this is incredible. I've never seen anything like it. And then lastly, this sort of naughty drizzle of butter. And it just trickles through and gives you that lovely
So this
little...
could be supper, this could be lunch.
I mean, if it's going to be lunch, you're going to have to sort of factor in some sort of nap situation afterwards. It's quite
I'm
heavy.
happy to do that.
And then lastly, just some pine nuts. I buy them already toasted. From the supermarket, life's too short and they always burn when you're not concentrating. A little bit of parsley to freshen it up, and that is it. So it's a little twist on what you know already as a bolognese. I think it's lovely,
It's
creamy
nothing
and
like
wonderful.
bolognese. It's delicious.
I
I
love
mean,
it.
bolognese is great. You know, it's a bolognese texture, but the flavours are
It's
just
the
gorgeous.
yoghurt that makes it seem like nothing else.
It's really clever, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's cool. You know, it's sort of interesting way to do it.
Hot and cool, all at the same time. Very good, very good. If you fancy doing that, head to the app. There's this recipe and lots of other delicious ones as well from the This Morning chefs, and that is free, This Morning app.